Hey, Danica, how are you? What's going on, hon? Your first. Hey, Scott, what's going on? Scott, you dialing it in from Las Vegas? Hey, Johnny, thanks for dialing in. Can you guys hear me? Yes or no? Hey, Harold, I am interstatal. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Can you hear me? Yes, great. Thank you so much. All right, let's get started. Let's go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Angie's Angles and the broadcast of my 4th year of Angie's Angles. It is April the 11th in the year of my Lord, 2024. You might think the broadcast is a little different. I'm elevated. I'm sitting on a bar stool, so we're doing what we do. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Congratulations on your new stuff.
Thank you. So, hey, Nick, what's going on? Yeah, Nick's telling us. Let's put that on the big screen, Nick. Nick's saying, hey, what's going on? Where'd that come from? Where the Mets beat the Bravos? Wow. Yes, sir. So we took 2 out of 3 from Atlanta. And the one game that was postponed due to rain, we're going to make it up September 26th. I mean, Jesus, that could be a big pivotal game. You know, let's call a spade a spade. The Mets are 2.5 games out of first place. 2.5. Who would have thunk it after starting, 0-5? For God's sakes, it's crazy. So we face Kansas City coming into the weekend, and they're no slouch. Bobby Witt Jr. is a pretty good ball player, and they got some other players on that team. So we'll see what's going on. Yeah, that's funny, Nick. Good old Guillermo was on the mound. That's funny. So, hey, Mark, my brother from another. What is going on? I am duo interstatal. I'm glad. Oh my God, Mr. McGowan, sir, what's going on, Clark? I am tri-interstatal. As you can see, the good Lord has fixed me. My surgery is a thing of the past. My voice is back. A slight cough here or there, but we're doing all right. So thanks. We're up to 11 already. This is great. Hey, Tom, dialing it in from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. They are my hostess with the mostest. They give me the podcast room. They gave me a door. They give me the bar stool, so we're in good shape tonight. Tom, thanks for dialing in, and I appreciate it. So let's go right through the housekeeping stuff before we get into the what is and what is not of the New York Mets. Longwood Lions are 6-2 on the season. We played 8 games. I can't even believe we played 8 games already. And I think that came with 1 or 2 rainouts. So this week was a couple of milestones for Danny. On Saturday, he hit his first ever high school home run. It was a no-doubter, left center field. Thanks to Mr. Jerry McSherry for capturing the photos. I posted on Facebook. Beautiful photos. I actually was there live, so I got the video of Danny going yard. And then yesterday, hats off to CJ Foreman pitching. 7 2/3 of no-hit baseball, 13 Ks. We came away with the win thanks to Danny's 8th inning, 2 out, man on third double. We win the game 1-0, and we beat William Floyd, who at the point was undefeated. So we gave them their first loss on the season. We play again. I believe we play them again tomorrow and Saturday. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you. Yes, Clark. It was amazing pitching performance by one C.J. Foreman, who is an Adelphi commit. He'll be pitching for the Panthers, so I'll be able to sneak away and grab a game or two, I hope. So that's what we got with the Longwood Lions. Danny's Road to the Show brought to you by no other than DomScallopBaseball.com. If you're in the neighborhood of Queens, Long Island, Suffolk County, Google DomScallopBaseball.com. Send your kid to his camp. You will not be disappointed. So again, Danny's Road to the Show brought to you by DomScallopBaseball.com. Now let's jump right into the Mets. We got some time here tonight to discuss what is and what isn't of the New York Mets. As we all know, we got started off on an abysmal record. We couldn't get out of our own way. And who would have thunk 5 games into the Major League Baseball season that the New York Mets, without Kodai Senga, without Tyler McGill for the most part, we were leading the National League in ERA. I mean, Quintana, except for today, he gave up 3 runs. He's pitching to a 3.4. He had a 2.17 ERA going in today's game. That's funny, Mr. Clark. Very funny. So, the New York Mets have gone on a little hot streak, if you will. We're 5-7, and the Braves are 7-4. Yo, Mr. McGowan, that's a good question. He's asking me if Lindor is going to wake up. I'm not concerned about Francisco Lindor. He's your 30-30 guy. Francisco Lindor is kind of akin to what's going on with Danny. He's squaring the ball up. He's hitting the ball hard, but he's hitting it right at people. Lindor could have had 3, 4, 5 more hits, but he roped a couple down the line where the first baseman made some good plays. Third base made some good plays. That's the game of baseball. It literally is the only game that is the game of inches. And we've discussed this ad nauseum. Francisco Lindor's swing looks fine. He doesn't look lost. He's not late. He hit a home run the other day. So I'm not concerned about Francisco Lindor. I'm not concerned about Pete Alonso. I do have some concerns on Jeff McNeil. It looks like he's pressing a little bit. Now, let me throw an interesting stat at you. And because you know that's what I do. If you know what I mean. So who would have thunk? What are we, 12 games into the season? Right, Mark? That's right. Yes, Clark. Mark Brooks looks put that big on the big screen right now. Francisco always starts seasons pitiful. He's a warm weather hitter. That's a fact. Some guys are, some guys aren't. He's notorious warm weather hitter. So we're gonna wait for some nice weather to break and see what happens with Francisco. And Nick, I want to put you on the big board. Nick says, where the hell has JD Martinez been, by the way? Back issues. These players are made of glass. Well, I, for one, am very happy we saw JD Martinez, especially for the $12 million. I mean, if we're going to give one Julio Teheran $2.5 million to pitch 4 innings of baseball, then release him, we could certainly give $12 million to JD Martinez, who's got a proven track record. Hey, Mike, what's going on? I am quadruple interstatal. Hey, Dave, thanks for dialing in. You're not late, brother. You're not late. Well, Dave, we already had this conversation offline. We did face their B pitcher today. Winans came into the game with a 5.9 career ERA, nothing to brag about. And we did what we were supposed to do with that type of a pitcher. So that gives me hope that, a 5.9 pitcher is not making us look like the Bad News Bears. We exposed them, we hit them, and we did what we were supposed to do, and we got into the pen early, and then we kept it running. So, Dave, I know you asked me the question about Quintana. What grade would I have given Quintana? Quintana is he's a fantastic pitcher. He's got a good pedigree and track record, Dave. Did I think he's an A-plus pitcher like he was pitching to? No, he came back to earth a little bit. He's now pitching to a 3.45 ERA. But Quintana, I think he made one mistake today. He gave up that double to the gap to the right center. And he came in with the off-speed slider that just hung out over the plate, and the guy went with it. Professional hitters do that. They adjust to the pitch. and he just poked at it and drove it to right center. And I do think that was his only mistake pitch, to bring in 2 runs on that hit. Hey, Brandon, what's going on? That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got some positives in my life as far as the New York Mets are concerned, Brandon. So I don't need to go visceral on them this week. That's funny. Yeah, Harold, Quintana's not a bad pitcher. He's a pro. He's a seasoned pro. Brett Maletta, what's going on? I am Quintuple Interstable. What's up, Brett? And Brett doesn't want it. Let's put you on the big screen, my friend Brett. Angie, I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I think Quintana is very similar to the pitcher Bob Myrick. Brett, I think you and Mr. Schwartz need to go for a long walk over Short Pier, if you know what I mean. But say Mr. Schwartz. Just kidding, Brett. I love you. You know that. So Brett's a funny guy. Brett, you're a nice guy, Brett. See what I did there? All right. Yeah, winning does that, Clark, right? Winning brings a whole new pedigree out to you. It certainly lowers my blood pressure. So, yeah, Clark, right? You both have nothing but nice things to say about Quintana. We got him on a steal. We got him on when he was injured. We allowed him to rehab. He was our best pitcher the last 10 games of the season last season, and he's our best pitcher the first 12 this year. So we might have found one more lightning year in one Jose Quintana. So we'll have to see how that goes. So I'm going to throw out a stat, and we all know, hashtag Nimmo sucks, right? We all know that I'm the creator, originator, and sole proprietor of hashtag Nimmo sucks. And I'll say it ad nauseum. But who would have thunk it 12 games into the season that Ronald Acuna Jr. and one Brandon Nimmo have the same batting average, a paltry 233. I mean, who would ever thunk that you could put Brandon Nimmo and Ronald Acuna Jr. in the same conversation, same sentence when it came to batting average? That just cracks me up, and it's exactly the same. They're at a .233. And Nimmo had to go like 8 for 9 his last couple of games to get to 233, if you know what I mean. So what's that telling you about Acuna? Take it easy, Harold. Take it easy. No, Ronald Acuna Jr. is an absolute stud, all-star. We're hoping his little brother, Luis Angel Acuna, could give us the same production, and I'll take 3/4 of it, if you don't mind. So we spoke about Lindor. Who would have thought that one Tyrone Taylor, Tyrone Taylor has 7 RBIs with the New York Mets. He's a bench player. I mean, yeah, he was playing a couple games, and we already, hey, Brooklyn is in the house. What's up, my brother? Nice to see you, Rob. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you. We're at 13 on the view cam. Mustafa, what is going on? Walk-in Barbershop, the best barber this side of the island. Mustafa, go see him at Walk-in Barbershop. All right. I'm not even going to try to remember what town you guys are in because I always mess it up. So let's go over some of the batting average of the New York Mets currently. Now, if you remember my inaugural podcast on the season, right, when back in March 28th, when the season started, I gave you my predictions, and I told you to keep an eye on Starling Marte. Well, Starling Marte is off to a pretty decent start, batting .271. I predicted him roughly right around 300, 305. I think Marte is healthy. I think he's playing for a contract. I think he's determined. He looks strong. He's hitting the ball wickedly. I mean, tremendously wicked. He's hitting the ball hard. Kevin Elliott, where are you tonight? Because I don't see you, but we're going to talk about Brett Beatty and his 311 batting average, and that's after going 1 for 5 today. So if you take Brett Beatty's 311, he was up at the 340 mark before today's game, 350. Brett Beatty is coming into his own, and like Clark said, and Harold mentions it at time, confidence builds confidence. And once you make a couple of key good plays that Beatty's made at third base, once you put the footsteps of Vientos behind you, you start to believe in yourself. The organization believes in you by not sending you down and keeping Vientos instead of you. I think Brett Beatty's going to have a breakout season a la Francisco Alvarez like he had last year. Yeah, Clark. Here's another thing that's kind of hypocritical in Major League Baseball. Let's pull the All-Star game out of Atlanta a couple years ago because of some voting registration laws that were passed by the citizens of Atlanta, but allow the tomahawk chop to continue in today's environment where you see the Washington Redskins having to change their name, the Cleveland Indians having to change their name, but no, the Atlanta tomahawk chop's allowed to stay. I mean, I don't understand this. This is ridiculous, Rob Manfred and Harold. There's no better time. We could always bring it up at any point of Angie's Angles, but let's do it now. Rob Manfred hates baseball. Rob Manfred hates baseball. Rob Manfred hates baseball ad nauseum. I mean, Rob Manfred, what? You're a joke with a capital J and a couple of exclamation points. I mean, you're hypocritical, Rob Manfred. And then guess what? Guess who's getting the All-Star game back? Atlanta. Did the voting rules change? No, they did not. They did not. But they had this guy, Angie's Angles, screaming from the top of Smoke Therapy's roof. Yeah, Jim, there goes the blood pressure. You knew it was bound to happen. And Jim, just for you, we're going to bring out the torch, my friend. And let's light up my cigar. Tonight, I'm smoking my new favorite. It's called Leaf by Oscar. So the cigar itself comes wrapped in a tobacco leaf, and you have to peel it back and expose the cigar. If I remember, next week I'll do it. I'll do the demo. I'll do it in the raw format. I'll peel back the tobacco leaf. I'll expose the cigar. We'll cut it. We'll light it. We'll have a good time. Clark, yeah, we brought this up last week briefly, and this is Tony Clark trying to save his ass, in my humble opinion. The rank and file are starting to feel that Tony Clark is on the owner's side rather than the Major League Baseball Players Association side. To a man, they all dismissed the pitch clock. They did not want the pitch clock. They also didn't want a couple of the other rules, the 2 disengagement from the mound. They didn't want the ghost runner. But because Rob Manfred, Jimmy rigged the panel, it made it almost impossible for the Players Association to have any word or any say in the voting. So it's my opinion that Tony Clark is trying to save his hide, to save his job. And while we're at it, Tony Clark's salary as the president of Major League Baseball Players Association is a crisp $4.7 million a year. So that's a job that I would try to hold on to. And so he's come out with this because of all the Major League Baseball players whose arms are getting injured. And I won't give the pitch clock 100% of the reason, because you'd have to be a conspiracy theorist. And I laugh at that because you all know I am. But in today's day and age, everything's been made about the spin rate, about throwing at max velocity all 90 pitches that you pitch in the game today. And that's putting undue stresses on the arms. So, right, Clark, baseball the way it ought to be, and that's what Angie's Angles and our family want to see. We want to see baseball brought back. And 2025 can't come soon enough for one. Is it 25 or is it 27 that Manfred's going to be exiting? I'll have to vet that and get back that to you next year. Next week. I don't know what I'm talking about tonight. So, yeah. So, Clark, let's put that on the big screen. Clark, not really. Pitches don't get to have any rest between pitches. 100 miles per hour pitches are killing the pitchers. Yeah, it's 100% correct. These guys, they're not robots. Just like me, I can't do a whole show at, redlining with my blood pressure. It's going to get the best of me sooner or later. I might be able to pull off, a 3-minute rant, but then I got to back it down and give myself an 8-minute calming period. But Major League Baseball pitchers, they got to throw. Not only do they have to throw, the mental strain on your whole brain cells in terms of understanding what you're going to throw next, figuring out the dynamics of what the hitter might be looking for. The cat house game, absolutely crazy. I mean, there's no reason to rush up this game that we love. 0-0-0. And it saddens me that I do have a couple of friends that are all about the pitch clock, how they love it. Well, I think Angie's Angles family is in almost 100% agreement that that's not what we want to see. We want to get to the ballpark. We don't care if it's a 3-hour, 4-hour, 4.5-hour game. We're paying premium dollar. You're paying $30 just to get into Citi Field to park your car. All right, $30 before you walk into the ballpark. The tickets will cost you anywhere upwards to $60 to $80 to $90 a ticket. If you got a family of 4, let's do it at $90. That's $360 for a ticket. Throw another $30. We're at $420. I mean, it's $390. Throw in the Carvel and a helmet, a couple of hot dogs, and a bag and a box of popcorn. It's sick. You're spending $500-$600, and now Major League Baseball wants to say, thanks for the 2.5 hours worth of your $500. No, thank you. I'm going to a ballpark. I want to be there to be there. So goodness gracious, we're at day 51, Mark. We covered a lot. Hey, Lou. Good night, Lou.
Good night, brother.
Thank you for saying good night. That's my boy, Lou. Yeah, Nick. Julio Teheran's going to free agency. He might wind up with the Memphis Mudcats. Right, Mr. McGowan? $30 souvenir. You're lucky if it's $30, for God's sakes. Right, Harold? So that I've adopted my mantra is not to go to any live games if I have to pay for it. Now, I got a couple of friends. One of Danny's teammates' dads, very generous, has offered to have me go to the game with him. Very nice. I got one of my vendors is offering to take me to the game. I'll have no problem going to the game. I'll wear my newly minted Nolan Ryan Met jersey, number 30, when he was with the Mets. So I'm very happy to go to the game and enjoy the ambiance, but I'm not willing to pay for it. I'll be very happy. Yeah, John, the $15 beers, right? That's watered down. I'm very happy to sit at home. Last night, Danny and I, Danny, I told you he's been a little down on himself with the hits or the lack thereof. The balls are being hit right at people, but you just got to keep hitting the ball. They'll fall. Clark, we had an offline conversation. Thank you for your input. But so the plan was to watch the Met game last night, make some hot dogs, sit on the couch, observe the different batters and how they approach the pitch situation or the count situation or the base situation and adapt to it. And that's what you got to do. Right, Mark? You do have to take a personal loan to go see the Met games. All right, we're at day 52, Mark. Let's do this. It's something I wish I didn't have to do, but it's powerful. It's working. And don't mind the hair. Mustafa, I got to make an appointment. Come see you. All right, Harold, we're praying for Dawn Squared, and you gave me an update, which was very nice, that both Dawns, your wife and your co-worker, seem to be on the path of getting better. Things are looking up for both of them. So thank you for that. Your friend Ed, as he still battles his health scares and challenges. And we have a bit of good news that we'll add to the prayer circle. We're going to pray for our good friend Harold Sanderson, as he announced today live on Angie's Angles that he's going into either retirement or semi-retirement. Now, Harold's a very accomplished musician. He plays the guitar and the ukulele. And I'm kind of pushing and encouraging him to do some podcasts or posts on YouTube, which he's done in the past. He's going to have a lot more time, and he's promising to do some traveling Wilburys for this guy. So I can't wait. James Krause is in the house. What's going on, my brother? So, Harold, congratulations on your decision. You and Dawn, I wish you nothing but the best. Scott Tobias, we are praying for your wife and mom. And again, you were gracious enough to give me an update. And they are both living day to day doing the best they can with a positive attitude. So we like to hear that. Linda Stein, my friend, you're working too hard. You got to pull back, Linda, a little bit, but we're praying for your dad as he continues with his health challenges. Mark Brooks, who I had the honor and pleasure of meeting last week, we discussed ad nauseum. We met with Anaya and with Ava Lee. My absolute pleasure. We're praying for your dad and yourself, my friend. Kevin Elliott, my buddy, who I speak to every day down in Hollywood, Florida, as you tackle your health challenges. The Krause family, we are praying for you and keeping Aubrey in our prayers as she keeps in remission with her cancer. Martha, my coworker at Adelphi University, as she recovers from her surgery and her positive outlook on life. Clark, Trisha was very nice to share with me. You've been sharing that your brother-in-law, Brad, is getting stronger and stronger every day. Rehab's going great. Things are looking up for Brad. He's getting stronger. And your sister, Trisha, who just celebrated her birthday. So happy birthday there, Clark's sister, Trish. Deb and Lee, we're praying for you guys down in Maryland as Lee faces his health challenges. Fred, my buddy, in the smoke therapy lounge as he's facing rotator cuff surgery. Ray Capers, the Delphi University buddy, as he's recovering from his health scare. Coach Courtney, we're praying for your brother-in-law Calvin and your sister Pat. Mr. McGowan, as always, sir, we have your back. We got you, my friend. Yes. My good friend Marianne Bello, my high school friend from back in the day, as her mom, faces that thing we all face, that aging process, and she's facing some health challenges. Tom wants us to add his good buddy Robin. Robin lost his mom, Angie Rosa, passed away just the other day. We pray for their family. And we're going to throw in Lonnie, my friend Lonnie here from Smoke Therapy, is also, along with Mike, is instrumental for giving me this back room. They couldn't be two more supportive guys for this guy every Thursday night coming to the Smoke Therapy and screaming his bloody head off. Lonnie just got some info about him, and he's going to be tackling some health issues. Nothing serious. He's good, but he's facing it. He's tackling it face on, like the trooper he is. Even though he's a Democrat, we won't hold that against Lonnie. So that's been our prayer circle for Angie's Angles. We're at the 8:56 mark. So let me take the last 3 or 4 minutes to discuss what we're attempting to do. We're making some improvements, some upgrades. I would like some feedback if the audio and the camera has been a little bit better on this podcast. I'm using some new equipment, some different equipment. We're trying to go to podcast material. We're going to work on a logo. We got a logo coming to you soon. We're going to be reformatting Angie's Angles. We're going to probably put Danny's Road to the Show to the end of the show instead of opening it with it. We're going to discuss the current situation of Major League Baseball and the Mets predominantly in the beginning. This way, because when I put this on the social media, I'm not capturing the person that wants to hear about my personal business, I believe. And I don't want to lose the personal touch with all of you. All of you is really the reason I'm here. And I don't want to ever lose sight of that. But I do think, and I've been spoken to, and I've been given some advice that I have something, perhaps. And if Frank the Tank can get onto Barstool Sports and SNY with the ragtag junk that he possesses, and I won't get too personal, Frank, but he's a walking train wreck. I'm going to bring qualitative substance to the podcast. We're going to reinvent Angie's Angles to where it started off with my twisted view of baseball and the Mets. Hence the name Angie's Angles, because my view is angular. I don't see things straight on. I don't see it up and down, left and right. I see it in angles. It comes at me like a prism. And we're gonna reinvent my podcast, and we're gonna see what we can do with it. The minute that you all feel that we're losing that personal touch, I need you to let me know. And then we got to figure out how we're going to navigate that. The personal shout outs I'd like to keep, but if we build it up, I'm not so sure if I'm going to be able to do that. And I don't want to lose that, but I'm going to try to take this to the next level. I think I owe it to me. I think I owe it to you. I mean, what's going to be better to say maybe in 2-3 years? I knew him when, and I will not ever forget any of you. So I just want to be, very transparent. I want you to all to know that I love you deeply and that this is not about me looking to commercialize Angie's Angles. If I can make a couple of shekels that supports my cigar habit, that'd be all right. What am I looking for? $100 a month, maybe. So I don't want to lose sight of it, but I also have to give myself that opportunity because this is truly, truly my passion. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Terry. How are you? Kev, you have to talk to me about a moderator. So I don't understand what that is. So you'll give me some feedback. But Angie's Angles will always be your Angie's Angles because you created Angie's Angles. You've made me, given me the ability to be here for 4 years. And I missed 2 podcasts in 4 years. Well, we're in the 4th year. We haven't completed. So 2 podcasts. Hey, Donna, what's going on? I am Say Tupo Interstatal. Thanks, Donna. That's funny, James. No self-promotion, but James says as long as you say James Krause is in the house, he's good. Listen, guys, I'm going to try to keep it as real as possible. Kevin's got to talk to me about this moderator situation. I'm not really sure how it works. Mark Brooks, you got a couple of minutes of extra innings from one Angie's Angles. Let's see what we do this weekend, fellas and ladies. Let's see if we can get to 500. That's our goal, right? We're 5-7. We got to take, we got to sweep the Kansas City Royals. That'd be wonderful if we do that. Who knows? The bats are coming alive. Angie's coming alive. Danny's coming alive. So we'll see what's going on. This has been my honor. Angie's Angles coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. I beg you, if you're ever in the tri-state area, I have traveled to Connecticut to meet my friend, Mark Brooks. I will go. I will meet you halfway. Let's do it. Good night. God bless. I love you.